Hey, welcome back to Frank's Garage. If you haven't subscribed, please do so if you want to see more videos like this. I do know this is going to be a short one. It's mostly just to do update on what I'm doing right now, because I can't really get down under with the camera and not have issues showing you exactly what you need to see. So I might as well just do a short video explaining what I have done and what you could do if you have this situation there of rack and pinion on the 99 Nissan Sentra. So quickly, I'm going to just do a recap of what I've done. Obviously take both wheels out, take the outer tie rods off. You can take the inner tie rods off if you want to have more room to play with. Let's just put it that way. In my case, these inner tie rods are still in good condition. The outer tie rods, that's a different story. They're both, I put them on at the same time, but somehow the oil that was leaking out of the rack and pinion, it deteriorated. It basically ate up the rubber on those outer tie rods. So, I mean, I was able to just squeeze those rubbers down too easy, and on one of them it was already torn. So I'm like, man, so I guess those were really cheap. Anyways, back to how I got the rack and pinion out. Something that you need to know, the space here is pretty good, but somehow the space in here is larger than the space down in there. So I wasn't able to get this part, I wasn't able to get this to fit. There was no possible angle for me to just twist it, turn it, and have it go through. I just couldn't find it. So what I ended up doing is putting the engine supported up with this. What is this? Engine support bar. Yeah, engine support bar. You can get this at Harbor Freight. This is the one I got, Harbor Freight. And I took off the rear, or let's just say the right hand side engine mount, which is that one right there, and this whole bar comes down with it. Okay, so that's why I have the support bar right there. And what I did is I already had the inner tie rods disconnected completely. I mean, taken off. So exactly what I did is I lifted this side up. So let me get closer. This side, I lifted it up so I can have this end facing downward on the side where it is on. And that's the only way I was able to get this rack and pinion out of the car. After I twisted this down and this side up, it just started coming down slowly. You just turn it, twist it, and it came out. So yeah, this one uses transmission fluid. It should be the same on your Nissan Sentra if you got a B14, and if you don't know what that is, that's like a 96 to 99. Yeah, 96 to 99 Nissan Sentra. It should use transmission fluid just like mine. So that's why you see that fluid is, well, on the camera it looks black, but in my view it looks red, dark red, let's just say. Anyways, the rack and pinion, it basically, I don't want to say it blew out, but it was leaking everywhere. As you can see, this whole side is completely soaked. This whole side right here. I'm guessing the seals on this side completely blew out. And the same thing over here. And probably this hose, this fitting right here, is useless. When I took out the bellows, and if you don't know what a bellow is, it's basically the rubber boot that goes tied up to this end, and it goes tied up to the other end of the inner tie rod. So when I took out the bellows, they were completely filled in transmission fluid, completely filled. Yeah, and that's why I got mess marks where the fluid came down onto. Because when I took out the first one, I wasn't even expecting that, and when I pulled it out, it spilled. So, yeah. That's something for you to know. If you got a really bad leak on your rack and pinion, make sure you're ready when you get those bellows out to have a drain pan right next to you in case it spills fluid on you. Okay? So, I already have a brand new rack and pinion waiting for me right there from Detroit Axle, but I want to get this whole situation from happening to me again. So as you can see right there in the middle of the screen, I took out everything that has to do with the power steering. So those are the power steering lines right there. I still got one attached to the car. It's this one right here, and I put it over there to the little canister right there, so if it leaks that way it catches it. I already took out the reservoir, I took out the power steering pump, I took out all of those things. Okay, so you're probably asking yourself, what the heck are you doing? Well, I'm going to do what other people have been doing. Is basically, if you have an old car like this, I tell you right now, finding a rack and pinion can be difficult and can be expensive also, because not a lot of people are buying it. So, and a lot of people are just buying newer cars. So all these old cars are just sitting out and basically, yeah, rotting to death. So I'm going to convert this to manual steering. And the way I'm going to do that is following but what basically other people have been doing lately. So to start off, you got to take these lines off and then plug those holes in, including these ones right here. Plug them up with either a bolt or something that can, that can basically cover the entire hole and be tight. So I know that the seals here and here are done. They're useless. I'm going to replace those two seals because I don't want any dust, any grime going in to the rack and pinion and basically ruin what I'm doing. The one thing I'm going to take, not the only thing, but the one thing I'm going to take from here, from inside the rack and pinion, is going to be the seal that's about maybe around this area. The purpose of that seal is when you're turning the steering wheel, fluid comes through these lines, and depending on the direction that you're turning the wheel, high pressure fluid is going to go through these lines, and they're going to push like this the rack and pinion from left to right, right to left. So that is the seal that I need to get rid of, because if I don't take that seal out, turning the steering wheel with that seal in there, it's gonna be a pain in the butt. So I want to free things up a little bit more, and I'm gonna take that seal out just like everybody else is doing when they're doing this conversion to manual steering. The other reason I'm turning this one into manual is that the steering ratio on the power steering is quicker than the one on the manual steering if I were to replace this one with the original manual steering that this car usually has. So if I were to do that, then I'd be losing ratio when I'm turning. So I'd rather keep this one, which has a much quicker turning ratio than the manual steering. So the other thing I'm going to do is open these up, take this out, take this one out, and that one there, and get this, take out the unnecessary seals. Obviously, clean the whole thing up because this is nasty. And once I do that, I can start putting things up together, put new seals, the new exterior seals that I want in there, so that way it can, you know, keep itself nice and lubricated, and at the same time it doesn't catch any dust or grime or whatever from outside. If there is any change to what I do, I will let you guys know on another video, because like I said, there's no real space down there for me to show you at the same time I'm doing this, and it would be uncomfortable for me to deal with the tripod or with the camera and show you guys at the same time what I'm doing. I would say if I had a stand, not a stand, my bad, a car lift, then the story will be completely different, and I will be showing you everything that I'm doing. But in this case, that's not what I have. So I'm gonna be doing that. Another update, as you can see, engine block is nowhere to be seen. That's because I already sent it to get cleaned up, so I can then rebuild it for a second time. And this time I'm not gonna be distracted with anything else, just the engine. Okay, just the engine. Obviously I'm working on this one. I'm really hoping I can get this one done before I get the engine back. I mean the block back on my hands, so I can, you know, get this thing out of here, and I have all this garage space for just me, myself, and I working with the engine. Okay, that's my goal. I'm hoping I can get this done quickly. So I think that's the end of this video, guys. So again, I'll keep you guys updated with what I do. Let's just say if this doesn't work, I got this guy. I can just throw it in and put those lines back, which I really don't want to, but you know, if that's the case, then you know, what can you do, right? So this is my first time trying to get this done. I'm gonna follow just like everybody else is doing, step by step. So I'm hoping I can get this done perfectly, so that way I can have all this space free. You see that? You can see down to the ground with all those other things, the reservoir, the lines, the pump. You can't see down to the ground. It's so tight. So I'm hoping I can get this done, take some weight out of the car, take some stress out of the engine, because obviously the power steering pump runs with the engine. So if I get to do that, less stress on the engine and more reaction time. Better reaction time on the engine when you press the gas, and less noise if it ever goes bad. Anyways, that's it guys. I'm gonna get back to doing this, and I'll keep you guys up to date. I'll see you on the next one.